Welcome to part 2 of the Battle of Kursk. The Russians have really taken a commanding position here with both of the flags under their control. Even though this map is well balanced and both sides have a lot of vehicles they can get from their main base, it can be extremely dangerous if your side is stuck at the main base while the other team holds both of the flags. And the reason for that is that the team that's only got its main base has to make a long trek, especially their infantry, those who weren't lucky enough to get a vehicle. I think there's a landmine on here, but yeah, even firing the cannon on a tank will potentially activate a landmine that's sitting on top of a tank. Some servers, the friendly landmines, which are marked with that purple skull and crossbones thing that comes up when you're near a friendly landmine. Some servers won't have them detonate, but this one obviously does. They got friendly fire enabled. But anyways, if the team has only the main base, they've got to do a long hike up to the flags, which takes them a lot longer to reinforce and make multiple attempts. Whereas the other team, when they've got both of the flags, even if they lose one or one of them gets neutralized, all they have to do is have their infantry just run as quickly as they can from the other flag, and it's a lot easier to recapture it. So potentially what happens in the first minute or so of this round, with one side rushing forward and getting both of the flags, that can have a decisive impact on how the round goes. Of course, anything can happen, but it definitely gives them an edge. The most important thing that happens, of course, is that when you've got both of the flags, the other team has ticket bleed inflicted upon them, and time is just definitely not on their side. Both sides have uncapturable bases. The only way to really recover from having the ticket bleed inflicted against you is either to be incredibly good with their kill-to-death ratio, which is unlikely. The map doesn't favor either side, or they have to inflict ticket bleed against the other team. And of course, when the other team has two flags and losing one, they can still hold up a defense on the other flag. It's pretty difficult to pull a switch over like that. And there I just killed an unlucky infantry. He probably was taking that long hike all the way from the main base, and only to get killed as he got near the enemy flag. That's a good reason to patrol that area as much as you can with whatever infantry aren't doing anything else, and then you can just head over to an enemy flag and attack it from an unexpected position. I'm holding the German assault troops machine gun. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this weapon because it's less accurate, and even though it apparently has more stopping power, to give up the accuracy of the medic machine gun and to give up the ability to heal yourself in exchange for that just is never worth it. But it is useful in close quarter combat, of course. It's a good thing I didn't get into that enemy artillery. The flag capture radius on this flag is also small, and it's usually best to try to capture it sitting on the opposite side of the sandbags, where the people spawning inside the hut can't see you. The only way to improve your accuracy to a good degree with the assault's machine gun is to go prone, just lying on the ground like that. If you do manage to get into a good position and you're safe from enemy snipers, it's really not that bad, but of course you lack the mobility that you would think that the assault troop is going to rely upon. Alright, I've spawned at the main base and I'm just going to take one of the tanks up here. It's always a good idea to continually bring up the tanks from the main base. If you see that other people aren't doing that, then you can go ahead and do that yourself and prevent the enemy from bringing up its own tanks and getting a good tank superiority in the main field of battle. That flag that I'm leaving is tough to capture with a tank because you've got to position yourself in between those logs or get right up against the flag. If you're going to try to capture a flag with a tank, it's a lot better to do this one because it's more open. You've just got a little bit less of a chance of being snuck up upon. And that friendly plane right there, for whatever reason he decided to bomb me. You've always got to check your radar when you're bombing with a plane. But it's very tempting, though, to do what he did, because he basically saw the enemy flag, the one place where he knows enemies are going to spawn. You just fly over and drop a bomb on it. But if you're trying to help your team out the most, you want to not sabotage their efforts to capture that flag. And the Germans almost managed to capture both of the flags and make a little bit of a comeback, but didn't quite work out. We just had more people in the area who could respond to the threat. And once again, they're having the ticket bleed inflicted upon them, and they really needed to be able to inflict ticket bleed upon us to make up for all the tickets that they had lost already. As you can see, there really isn't much of an effort on the German side to group their tanks together and roll out as one force, all attacking at the same time against the same flag. That's pretty much the only way that the Germans could possibly break through. But on a public server, it's almost impossible to get any kind of coordination or teamwork. For some reason, that German was using a Russian tank. I guess he stole it from one of the spawn points, and there's a German taking a Russian plane. I don't know what the deal is. Stay tuned for part 3.